ladies and Germans. How you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
Hello, hello, hello.
And I told you on Tuesday, it's Thursday, you'd be getting another monthly tournament match, and I am delivering here with Rang. We are on Shadilta. Who do we have, sir?
On left hand side in the blue, we have AtkPwr Gaming playing 352nd with a balanced income, and right hand side in the red, we have Flix playing, or IL2 ready for booty busting, Tourney with a Vanguard income.
So you and I were talking before the cast went live here about the whole idea behind 352nd, and that we don't see them, and it's totally a meme. Why is that, sir?
Just infantry for an infantry division isn't that good. The tanks are, I mean, they got the AtkPwr, which is cool, but that's really about it. Decent artillery. It's just better infantry division. Same thing Tourney. Tourney is not exactly a top tier pick either. They're a bit overshadowed compared to 44th, so this is kind of the battle of the underdogs. Or the red-headed stepchildren.
Which is impressive, since everybody in the Red Army is a redhead.
Yes, they are, Khan. Yes, they are.
PTRS is, though, we're going to go absolutely just smoking through this middle. There's nothing there to stop them besides one Austrian squad.
Oh!
And a now dead artillery.
Absolutely wrecked. That's a big kill, knocking out the IG-33 right off the bat. And we're just seeing a very big push here from Flix right through the center. AtkPwr trying to make a push happen up north here. It's a bit more of a choke point, and he has been slowed down a bit as Flammenwerf has been forced to fall back.
Yeah, I mean, it's a funny thing. I always remember the whole 332nd kind of flavor text is they fight the war in the way of their grandfathers and fathers. I'm like, that's such a depressing thing to read.
Yes. And they're going to lose that same war as well.
Yikes. Austrian going down here in the meantime. In fact, there was one other squad that was supposed to be being brought on in. Oh, it's the 204. In fact, two 204s. Yes, I guess an anti-tank squad. This will go well.
Damn. But it's quite interesting seeing the opener of this map, and no one's trying to push heavy down south. That's usually the area which people like to push, but Flix is just going heavy in center, and he's making very good headway, managing to rush into the opposing hill. That's a very good piece of terrain to get control of.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's kind of funny. Usually we just see anti-tank weapons being placed on that and looking to the east across, the marshes that Frodo and Sam went through in the Two Towers. But getting across that, it's really hard to approach from the west. Once you take it, you have a forest, yes, but you have, like, what, 500 meters of open ground? Yeah, that is not pretty to get through.
And the main thing is that you can use that hill as a, leapfrog position to attack up north, which we're seeing Flix do a little bit here with the T-34s. Or a T-34, I should be more accurate.
True, and now we've Osttruppen and Sicherungs trying to push away this Tanko Thessaloniki and Strokis with SVTs. Probably not going to be too great. And let's check on this infantry fight in the Northern Forest. Tons upon tons, first of all, UT LMBs going down, those poor little Tumans. Osttruppen trying to lead the way, and probably get murked pretty quick. Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. But once again in CQC, they do have the Molotovs, and the Strokey SVTs are pretty good with the SVTs. But I think that the overwhelming CQC firepower should be enough to be a decisive factor here for AtkPwr.
Yeah, as they kind of get wrapped up from the flanks here. Like, well, there's 5 squads against 3 squads. There's 5 different ways to get suppressed, as opposed to 3 going the other direction. And we're seeing it happen right about now. A couple of 76 being brought in from that. That's a good call. And 45 mils being brought in to help secure that central position. Although, against what?
The potential threat of tanks. Oh, I guess he's actually setting them up. That's actually a good idea to set them up in case of a counterattack. He can actually move his T-34s somewhere else.
Right now we have a sniper fight. Actually, we have a recon fight with Superiors and AtkPwr, and it goes about as well as you would expect for the AtkPwr. And right now, I'm not entirely sure how this is going to go for AtkPwr, as we also have some stewards going on in, so the cavalry is being called in even before the situation is dire.
Yeah, that is just a very effective breakthrough here from Flix right off the bat. And of course the problem with 352nd is you're not exactly a mobile division in any sense of the word. No, up north we have 2 off-map artillery strikes on the same location to really make sure no one gets out of that forest alive.
I actually like that, though. The 76-2s, you're not going to get a lot of killiness, but you're going to get a lot of suppression out of that.
Yeah. He's not going to have a whole bunch of counterattack at Riv, but I think that's mainly... He's mainly just doing this to buy time so he can get some reinforcements up north.
But he doesn't need to. I just feel like he just kind of says, fine, you know what, you want to take the north? I already have the central part of this position. It's 15-9, my friend. Good luck. And the Stromoviki, Stroki squads, yeah, this is going to be interesting to see. I would laugh over here if the U2 could actually get hit by an artillery barrage as it was coming in. Well, he bombed his own troops, so...
That was just the warning bomb to let them know that the actual bomb
Exactly.
was going to drop.
Don't cross this line.
Yes.
Well, I suppose there's not a whole lot of radios on the Soviet side, so probably it's the same thing, right?
Yeah, it's a very effective way to send a message.
But there's so many... There's more armored vehicles in the center than there are in the entirety of the 352nd deck.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's an awful lot. I'm really curious to see... I mean, it's not... I mean, it is pretty tough, that position in the center. I mean, a good heavy tank or two could effectively, pick him off one by one, but it's also getting a good amount of infantry. And 352nd infantry is just kind of all meat shield for the most part, to put it nicely. It's you got like Stormtrooper and some like the Flam Pioneers, but it's mainly just all meat shield guys.
That's true, but one thing we haven't talked about with them, what actually they do get a good chunk of, is artillery.
Yes.
Their artillery is pretty sweet, I'm not gonna lie. By the way, Stromboli and Stroki's being sent right back in to retard the progress of the German attack until the second round of artillery can come back in.
That U2 is needed once again.
Exactly. Exactly. Unfortunately, I think the Starship are going to get through before the Strokis and the Stromoviki Komroti can stop them. Yeah, this is not going to go well for them.
Oh.
So, northern side might, in fact, go over here to the Germans until this SG-43 gets locked and loaded, which actually, that could shut things down for quite a bit of time.
Really for AtkPwr here, I think maybe another good option for him is trying to push heavy up north.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the problem is it's northern flank to begin with. There's not a whole lot of flags. You can pretty... I mean, if you start moving southeast, there's a decent amount. But it's not great terrain, and also you're playing 352nd. You're not mobile. It's going to be hard for you to push up and get that territory. But it's really his best bet.
It is. It is. And one thing I might actually kind of let this push on the opposite side to here, coming out with a couple of fighter bombers to support the ground attacks. Down south, for example, pushing back that tank with Niki. Yeah, infantry doesn't have a whole lot of support just yet to kind of force a surrender, but it's a start. It's a start.
And to follow up through, we have all that armor down south as well.
We said follow up through, you mean from the Soviet side?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, too, let's be more fair here, because AtkPwr is playing for that long game. He's looking for Phase C. Remember, he's not playing the Maverick as we're kind of always seeing. Or Vanguard, excuse me. So he's seeing Maverick. I see Mavericks wherever I go.
He is playing that balanced income. Now, once we get into... Oh, yeah, I forgot the AtkPwrs are actually, like, bloody expensive. 185 points. That is... I mean, they're not very good, obviously, yes. But as we've seen in 1v1s time and time and time again, is that, the super heavy tanks are usually not worth it.
Usually. But we have been surprised very positively in other directions before. Now, the 76-2 is being brought into the southern side. I think this is good. Maybe bring them a little bit further to the west might be better to at least start putting fire into that Pack 40, for example. Except Pack 40 is going to cause a hassle, I would say. Because Stromoviki quite a bit. At least getting the half track out of the way, which is a good call.
He needs to retreat out a little bit. And we've seen that little Osttroopen push, and as well as the sticker rings. They're not going to make out much progress without any support. But, yeah, probably at the central kill. Just avoid it. Don't go near it. Try to move around the flanks here. As we see, Flix's position is a little bit weaker, and there's actually a few decent flags which AtkPwr could pick up, especially down south as well.
But unfortunately, it's still the double B810s and T-3476s, so good luck.
Need some anti-tank, yeah, like at Pack 38 to move up a bit. But the tank contestant Idki's also in that town, and he could get a pretty good ambush if anything decides to push forward.
Remind me, the T4, it's an assault gun, yes, but it feels like someone took a P4 turret and just... Yeah, it is, isn't
No,
it?
it's just literally just an early model Panzer IV. It's just
Okay.
like a Panzer IV D or C, or it's an early in the alphabet soup numbers of Panzer variants.
Yeah, well, it's a short barrel, so it's definitely not... It's something earlier, I think, than an F.
Yeah, hasn't gone through puberty yet.
Yeah, exactly. Its barrel hasn't dropped yet. I'm not proud of that one, but it makes sense.
Indeed, it does.
The Pack 38 does get claim another kill here, and looking back towards the central position, Sturmoviki aggressing on the Sicherungs. Sicherungs, again, I want to be champions of them because they're not terrible. They're just not great.
They're not disheartened, Khan. So there's one, you know, checkbox in your book.
That's true. That's true. But it's not something one of those things where you can. Whoa! Potential 129, picking up two kills. Third one goes down to the Pack 38. BA10 is gonna get killed here pretty quickly, I imagine, as well. And that southern side is now wide open.
Yeah, I definitely relieved a bit of pressure. We're still seeing Flix bringing in the infantry reinforcements, and if those infantrymen to get into the town, that's gonna be very hard for AtkPwr to get back in.
If it's good. So northern side, in the meantime, very concentrated. That works. Southern side, very concentrated. That works. You know, 252nd was on the ropes before. They are under a bit of pressure here to kind of actually take some territory. But there's a possibility. It's still very much an uphill battle, figuratively speaking, in this case. But it's possible.
It just needs like a concentrated push somewhere, because we're just seeing like small, you know, pushes of 1 or 2 infantry in any direction. I mean, all the way up north we do see, you know, a large group of German infantry here, which, I mean, on one hand it's kind of hard for him to push out from that position, but he needs like a force like that just to try and push, you know, somewhere in Flix's flanks, which are a bit weak.
Flix's flanks. Try saying that 8 times fast.
I'm not.
I was going to say, please, this is still a family cast.
Yes.
Northern side of Martha does give itself up for the cause. Not to do with a whole lot of claims here. On the southern side, this should decent enough of kind of keeping things at arm's length. But there's got to be a reduction somewhere in the central position, and we're seeing whispers of it. Austrians are slowly clearing the forest.
Yeah, and we're also seeing a pretty good reinforcement down south with AtkPwr bringing in some good infantry into that town. So it should prevent the Stroke DPs and every else trooping coming in to, well, briefly slow them down a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, emphasizing the briefness of it is quite important. But 3 Stewards and 2 SU-85s are being brought on in, so it doesn't matter what you thought about that push, it is now not going to happen until that Henschel comes back in as a hero.
Yes. We're also seeing actually a decent corrosion of Flix's lines in the central position. I mean, there's still all the tanks here, which is going to be the difficult thing for AtkPwr to deal with here. He's bringing in a Panzer Shrek to try to pick off a few of those guys. But yeah, it's just dealing with the tanks. He needs artillery or aircraft to bomb out to bits.
Actually, the Shrek has the range from the forest.
He does, but there's a lot of tanks, and I think he can only get 1 or 2 before he goes down.
That's a good point. It's a very good point. Now, southern side, there is a moderate bit of aggression happening here. Ooh, still goes down courtesy of the SU-85s. They were both kind of hugging each other, so you see a little bit of stress on both of them there. But with the stroke down and the Stewards being moved on in, heck, an M45 is actually getting danced across ground. I'm not sure I really like that kind of aggression there, but hey, regardless.
Definitely an act of aggression.
Oh, very much active aggression. The Shrek is being moved up. Question is, Maybe this Niki should be able to see them soon enough. Oh no. There's a kill on T-34. Back into the trees, my friend! No! You can't set up the firepower of that magnitude! Oh no.
Oh.
He's pinned down. But it's beyond Vanu to Bienvald over here, but I don't think he's going to be too useful as the match continues.
It's a shame if he... I mean, it's also a tank of Tourney in the forest and the lack of good CQC. And
yeah.
Well, I mean, you get Stern Pioneers, it's not too bad. And he really does need a few fills, just really all over the place. It's all of Flix's main positions are in forest, pretty much.
True.
Oh, up north, we're seeing a pretty heavy investment here from Flix. A lot of Stern VQs with flamethrowers, as well as the 76mm dropping in a preliminary smoke bombardment.
I like
it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. But Stern VQ's taking a bit of the scenic route here.
Actually, I was looking down at the south. I noticed that the Sturmovic's to the north, but I was taking a look down south, and one of the Su-85s, it's a Pack 38 that put right back where the other one was. So they kind of shoved all the viscera to one side and said, "Ah, boys, this is a good position. Let's stay here." Claim an Su-85, but now the second Su-85 and all of its little chicks with those stewards kind of sneaking around the southern side of that town. It's not going to be pretty.
It's actually a very sneaky maneuver. The Sickerings would be in a good position with their pretty much grenade launchers to try and pick off a few of those stewards. And the Pack 38, but B3 as well. He's got them right where he wants. Well, not really. Gets one kill, and anti-air does the work.
And I would argue the least important kill.
Yeah, you can afford to lose the Stuart.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, Sturmoviki, okay, so the Sturmoviki squad was outside the half-track, was like, bro, it's a little warm, jumped back in the half-track, drove closer, and then the half-track was like, peace, bitches, I'm out.
I've done my job.
That has got to be some very, very, like, power move, kind of central right there. But it's enough to get them a foothold into the town.
Indeed. And it's gonna, if he can move that Sturmoviki through and start clearing out these Sickerings, then it allows his armoured forces to come on through and provide a oh so necessary armour support.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Central Pocket continues to hold because they cannot get that single Tango Descent Niki out of the way. Although I will say there's a Secret Rings that's trying to kill with a... Oh my gosh, I'm not going to try to figure out which vehicle, excuse me, what system it is right there. But he had the potential to actually kill the steward, and he blew it. So, unfortunate right there.
One shot.
And he let it slip, you're absolutely right.
He did. Oh, the Pack 38 down south.
Yes. Got a second steward, but he's now given up his life for the Führer as well.
Yeah. Sickerings managed to catch the Sturmovikis at least, so slow down the push a bit until Flix can get some more infantry. And it's not looking very good here for AtkPwr game, and Flix has managed to definitely keep that momentum on through B phase.
I will say there is no infantry in that pocket now in the center. There's a couple that tank out the Nikis, but they are back quite a bit. The question is if first of all can see the Shrek, because the Shrek technically should have amazing stealth. He's gonna get the Steward. So he's got 2 kills. He's gonna die, but he still paid himself off, so that's still talent, I would argue.
2 more tanks he needs to deal with. And the problem, and you don't have like, what really sucks with, actually you do have the Stag, never mind. But that's really your only like, proper like medium tank. Apart from that you're having to work with B1s and then expensive Jagd Panthers and then a few Martyrs as well.
True, and it's still 16-8 over here, so pick up a couple of opportunistic flags hither and yon, and with just the T-34, so he might win back that central position just in time, I think, for things to tick on out. Because northern side, we're going to see Sturmoviki Rocks kind of, let's say, retarding the progress of the Stahlstruppen. And there's this 2, which kills a B2. There's an SG-43 that was holding up the entire push quite a bit. So some small kind of unsung heroes here, I think, from Tourney. But Really, really solid play. Pushing early for that central position. Really, really shocked AtkPwr Gaming, I would argue.
Yeah, I think also that central position is like a very good position for AtkPwr to start off with because long range, perhaps some anti-tank guns. Yeah, set up a anti-aircraft and artillery battery in that rough position, and then you can just slowly but surely try to play maybe for the open ground engagement. But that was just a good gut punch right off the start there from Flix, and as you can show, it really just took a lot of AtkPwr's attention and resources trying to get that position back, and in time for, well, the match to be over.
Mhm. I mean, he's getting a 13-11 over here, so maybe we'll see some kind of hero move where he just kind of absolutely shreds, and no, it's not going to happen.
Oh, just seen
Because
a
we have seen that before. The last second kind of pull out gloriousness. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be the case today.
and down south is a heavy strokey DP push, decent amount of fire support with all the 76 mils. The last few seconds, and that should be a good game.
It is. So really, really well over here from Flix, just dominating that early game and riding that early momentum, I think, until the end.
Very close, actually not too bad in KD. It felt like AtkPwr definitely got rocked in terms of point share, but he did manage to get a decent amount of actually getting more kills. I just realized I did the math.
Oh, you're
A lot.
right. Jeez.
Yeah, wow.
I think that's because, though, AtkPwr is losing 15-point squads, and Flix is losing 55-point tanks. So check out the armored kills in this in a second. Smoky DP, sorry, SVT, excuse me. 5 kills right there. Selner, well done, sir. Shellner, perhaps. Other than that, that's really it. But on the opposite side, where's that Henschel? Because that Henschel had 3 or 4 kills.
He got 3 kills.
Mm-hmm. Pack 38 had a 4-pack. Another Pack 38 got a couple of like. So yeah, we're seeing a lot of armored vehicle kills on the 352nd side because they don't have any armored vehicles to lose.
Yes.
And
That's
Flix did.
yeah. You can't lose any tanks if you don't bring any tanks up to begin with.
Yeah.
Power move.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. The Fuhrer can't get mad at you if he doesn't give you any tanks to lose. You're right. But any final thoughts over here between the meme machines that these two divisions are?
Oh no, just a very effective push here from Flix.
Actually, you know why 352nd lost is because they weren't allowed to place their bunkers. So that's game design. That's an issue.
Yeah, and
So
there's no beach either.
true, true. I guess I have to check that off next time. And on that
Yep.
note, I'm going to see myself out. So unless you have any final words of wisdom or a dad joke of your own. Okay, well, folks, in that case, that's going to be it for us today. Until next time, I'm Connell Burke.
I'm Rangaroo. Take it easy.